Hey there, and welcome back to Walk with Him. Today we're picking up part 2 of a daily devotion that we started yesterday. We looked at one of those difficult verses in the Bible that we all struggle with. It's found in the book of Romans, chapter number 12, verse number 18. And in part, that verse says, "As much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men." It's difficult to live peaceably with some people, especially if they've hurt us or done us wrong. So yesterday we looked at the first step. How do you live peaceably with all men? We looked in the book of Proverbs and we found this verse in chapter number 19, verse 11. "The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and in his glory to pass over a transgression." The first lesson that we learned yesterday is if you can let it go, let it go. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes our hurts are so deep or the offense is so great we can't let it go. Now let me say this quickly. It's a mistake to act like you've let something go when in your heart you haven't. Many times we take it as a spiritual indictment against us that we can't let something go or that it bothers us. And so we act like it doesn't when the truth of the matter, it does. When we make that mistake, all it does is it grows, and many times it leads to bitterness, and that's even a greater problem to deal with. So if you can't let it go, what do you do? Well, the Bible gives us that answer in Matthew chapter number 18. The Bible tells us in verse 15 of that chapter, "Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone." The first thing I want you to notice in that verse is you go to him alone. You don't go to your friends. You don't go to his or her friends. You don't go to the neighborhood, and you don't go to Facebook, okay? The first place you go is to the Lord. And if you can't let it go, go to that person alone. Now, when you go in the right spirit, the Spirit's humility and Christ-likeness. And go with the right motive. The motive is restoration, not humiliation. Always have as your goal to rebuild the relationship. Most of the time, when you go to someone who's offended you in the right spirit, with the right purpose, and you sit down and you're sharing your heart with them, most of the time, you reach the end that you desired, and that's restoration. So what have we learned? Let's review, class. As much as lieth within you, live what? Say it with me. Peaceably with all men. How do you do that? Let it go when you can. Number 2, if you can't, go to them and go alone with the right heart, with the right purpose, and most of the time the situation will be resolved. Well, I hope that you have a great day, and remember, as you walk through your day, the only way to walk through a day and enjoy it is to walk with Him.